Okay, welcome back everyone. Now, I left off at I left off after the trial, and right now I have only two Pokemon left. And this time I will be trying to cut this a bit shorter, or at least cover more in the same amount of time. So I grinded a bit in the cave for the trial, and had my Magnemite evolve into a Magneton. And after that, it's the part where I go to Mele Mele Meadow. Here, um, I will be encountering a Flabebe. Flabebe. Um, I think it's minus special attack nature, so that's kind of sad, I guess. And here, I realize that I'm really over leveled for this um, point in the game. So I go for a quick ball and end up catching it in the first try, which is great. Uh, Now here I have a hard time finding the entrance for the cave, Seaward Cave, and I thought that this cave was the same cave as the one I caught the Piloswine in. So, well, I will make an explanation when it's time. So here I lead with Floette because I didn't know that this was going to be an encounter I have to face immediately. So luckily, my Floette can take care of his Cutiefly at this point, and afterwards he has Poipole, which is very dangerous for me, and I end up switching to my Magneton here, I think. Now, even though I'm very overleveled, uh, you will see how much damage he will do to me. Because he has, I think it's hidden power fire, because if it had been hidden power ground, I think it would have done a lot more. But regardless, I continue on, and I survive this hit too, and since I'm faster, the next hit is going to be a KO. But that was scary, seriously. So yeah, after the Ultra Recon Squad, um, I encounter a Woobat here, which I think is pretty low encounter rate, but still I encounter a Woobat here, and as you can see the explanation, I thought this was the same cave as the one I encountered Swinub in, and it could be the same cave, I'm not really sure, but regardless, I decide to look for another Woobat, and I will catch this one here after a bit of grinding. So, I don't know, it may be cheating, it may not be like the fairest way to play this Nuzlocke, but since I only had like 3 Pokemon at this point, I guess I just decide to go for it, regardless. So yeah, here I will try to throw a Pokeball, I guess. But um, as you know, you can't use a Pokeball in double battles. So I end up going for the kill on the second Woobat. I'm both trying to save my Floette there, and also uh, all all our moves are spread moves at that point, I think. So anyway, I end up catching this Wobet. I think Floette was minus defense plus attack nature, and this one is minus special attack plus attack nature. I think we will get to see it at one point in this recording. Uh, I named this guy Bruno because burun means a nose in Turkish, uh, and he has a huge nose in the shape of a heart, so hence the naming. And after this point, I encounter many Wobats. But anyway, I end up finishing my job here, and uh, I think I will be encountering How right after this. Yep, so he still has a Litten at this point. So, as I said before, I do realize I'm. Oh, he has a Torracat, okay. Regardless, I am a bit overleveled at this point, um, and I'm not really ready for this fight, but um, thankfully, um, I manage. Now, as the as the page for this game says, let me just quote it directly. This one. Just a second, guys. So, though, as you can see, my Halucha is really strong at this point because it's a plus attack nature. I think it's either minus special attack or special defense, and it's also a fully evolved Pokemon, one stage Pokemon, but yeah, it's the same thing. Uh, and it's a great Pokemon in itself. So it can take care of a lot of threats, as you can see here. And at this point, I know his team a bit better. I know that he will be going for the Pikachu after I KO him with a flying type. So yeah, um, I imagine he will be going for something that could hit Magneton super effectively, and I end up switching out. But here I feel comfortable going for my Magneton again, since I know this is not a Mega Lopunny at this point. But he still has the jump kick, which could have been scary had I not been overleveled. And yeah, I wanted to read out the explanation Dio Vento gave about Nuzlocke. So he says, and I quote, "This is not designed for Nuzlocke play. I don't believe a Nuzlocke of this game will be possible, let alone an enjoyable experience." Now, enjoyable experience, that could be debated, I guess, um, since it does feel challenging to me and it is fun at some level at least. But I do realize that to succeed with this Nuzlocke, I'm constantly over leveling my Pokemon, and I'm playing in like the safest way possible. So I can see how this could be um, boring in some cases, because you have to play very passively, you have to like spam potions, um, go to go to the Poke Center all the time and stuff like that. But um, well, maybe I will stop grinding after this part, maybe, because by the end of this part, I think my Pokemon will have reached 39 levels or so, around that. Yeah, so Floette has a minus special attack, and Swoobat also has a minus special attack nature. So that's very sad actually, because both those mons are really good, um, but they're hindered by their nature. And I try to make up for it with mixed sets, I guess. And I also look up how to evolve Floette at this point, and go buy a shiny stone and go on to evolve my Floette. Now, regardless of its special attack stat, Florges will be a great mon to uh, wish pass with, or it will be a great mon to sponge special attacks with. And here also, I don't really think that um, raising friendship with the mons is like a great strategy for Nuzlocking, because it takes away a lot of the challenge, as you end up hexing your opponents a lot. You dodge moves because you have a high friendship, you get crits because you have a high friendship, you survive hits you wouldn't survive because you have a high friendship, and all these happened to me. I would have lost Swoobat at multiple occasions, but due to it having a high friendship, I survived all those hits and stuff. Uh, but because it's necessary to evolve Swoobat, uh, I think it's okay. So from here on, I will only be using Pokemon Refresh to clear status effects, and if it's a necessity for my mon's evolution, then I will also be using it. But other than that, I won't be going for high friendship on any of my Pokemon, as it really takes away a lot of the challenge. So this is my match against the island champion, I guess, Hala, and he's fighting type. And at this point, you can see that my team consists of two flying types and one uh, two flying types and one fairy type, along with Magneton. Um, so I hear for him to choke there, I guess, and yeah, he doesn't go for Rock Slide that one turn, and I end up safely killing it. And then I can, of course, switch out my Pokemon. Uh, and I think I go for Hawlucha here. But then he goes for his Ice type Mon, but you will see that Hawlucha being over leveled uh, will easily kill all his Pokemon, if most of his Pokemon, if not all, if I recall correctly. So here I assume he has like Ice Punch or Thunder Punch or whatever, but Hawlucha is just too strong at this point with plus attack nature, and he ends up one-shotting most of his Pokemon. Now, I do say that I may implement level cap for my Pokemon, but then again, near the end of this game, everything will be like very, very high level. So I don't really know if that's necessary on my part. Um, but now that I have like 6 Pokemon, as you will see by the end of this episode, uh, I think I can slow down and chill on the leveling part, I guess. So anyway, here my Florges ends up KOing his Heracross, and that's it for the Melee Island, I guess. A Kahuna, it's what it's called, yeah. Okay, so this is the Mono Psychic type guy. This battle was sort of challenging, I guess. I don't know, I don't remember what he leads with. Oh yeah, he leads with Mr. Mime, and I have Magneton in my first slot, so it's nice that it's Fairy type. And at this point, I don't know if it's a monotype or not. It's been a while since I last played this game, the normal version of Ultra Sun. And I don't even know if it's like a monotype guy in the first version anyway, normal version. So yeah, I realized that Woobat won't be helping me much here. And I go straight back into my Magneton. And at this point, I do realize that Magneton is like one of the strongest mons I could have had for this playthrough because I don't know, it's just great typing overall. I mean, it's clearly not that strong against the first Kahuna, and my rival also has a fire type starter, so that's also bad for my Magneton. But Magneton is just such a great Pokemon overall with such high stats, and also that neutral nature helps me a lot. So yeah, here I switch in and out to level up my Bruno and also raise its friendship further. But you see here, it lives due to its friendship. It would have died at that point, most probably. Not most probably, it would have died, for sure. And here I don't know what to go for, and I end up switching to my Magneton again. I decide I shouldn't push it, and I switch to my Magneton again. So at that point, I think it was Hidden Power Ice. At first, I thought it could have been Ghost. Yeah, my Magneton is clearly able to sweep his team completely. And again, I continue switching my Woobat in and out to get more friendship and to get more experience on it. And I don't understand yet why my Woobat doesn't evolve, but I guess the affection points are not directly related to uh, happiness. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's the case. But having an overleveled Magneton makes this less of a challenge for me, but you will see there are problematic trainers along the way. Now the full restore this guy gives me here will come in very handy. Um, because as you realize, at the moment my team is very weak against fire. It's not very weak, but it has like a lot of minus defense nature Pokemon, and it has like my main carry, which is Magneton, is weak against fire. So here, this is I think the worst encounter I could have gotten. Uh, but still, it's like it's something, I guess. And I end up catching this one right here, and I evolve it with a rare candy right away, I think. I think I cut that part. Doesn't really matter, but here I evolve my Woobat finally at level 34, I think, into Swoobat, which is a great mon. I wish it had the ability Simple, but it's Klutz, so it's held item. Oh, so that's why having it hold the Sooth Bell is useless. Damn. Well, anyway, I end up facing How again. So at this point, I Google to see if Torracat is Dark type still, or does it get the Dark type after it evolves into Incineroar? And I see that it's not a Dark type yet, so I decide to stay in with my Bruno because, as I said, my team is kind of weak to fire and kind of low defensive, kind of has low defenses, and so I don't really have a switch in for this Pokemon. So I just end up going for a Calm Mind, hoping that I'm faster. Um, and it is a 2-hit KO for me after this point, I think, with Air Slash. And I also have a chance to flinch, so I go for it. Uh, yeah. Yeah, and I end up killing it. So, as I said, Magneton for the most part of this playthrough has been like a get out of jail free card. Um, and I'm open for suggestions in the comments if you feel like it. I'm not really expecting any comments, to be honest, but yeah, I'm open for suggestions here. This Olucha nearly ends up killing me with this next move. But I survive because, like, Florges is a defensive mon. And also, Hawlucha is also very strong. At this point, I have a lot of strong mons. If I had been um, below the level curve, or like where I should have been at this point, I think all these matches could have ended up with me dying. Like all his mons are very capable of single-handedly sweeping my teams, because since this is a Nuzlocke and the game is not designed to be a Nuzlocke, you see he has a lot of type coverage. He has a lot of diversity in his team, and also he has very competitive sets for his Pokemon, such as like a Swords Dance, Victory Bell. I mean, you wouldn't see that on the ladder on Showdown, but when it comes to these games, like that is kind of scary. I was kind of expecting a Sunny Day Weather Ball. Does it even get Weather Ball? I don't know, but like a Sunny Day Hidden Power, Victory Bell maybe. So here, the first Pokemon I run into ends up being a Rattata, and I go into Vivillon to possibly weaken it. And I think here I was hoping to go for a sleep powder, I guess. Uh, yeah, here I Draining Kiss again, and he uses Hyper Fang. Luckily, his help doesn't arrive, and here I contemplate if I should waste my Great Balls on this Rattata, but since there's a possibility of him KOing me with a Hyper Fang crit, I don't take the chance and throw a Great Ball, which I think at that point is like a 90% sure to catch that Rattata. And after grinding around the grass a bit, Rattata gains a level and re-evolves into a Raticate. And after that, I collect 20 totem stickers and I get myself a Gumshoes. Now, I don't know if it's fair for me to use this Gumshoes in a Nuzlocke, but since it's the first Pokemon I catch in that beach, for example, I could have gone back to that beach to fish with a rod at this point, but I end up going for this totem Pokemon instead. So I could consider this my first encounter here, but I don't know. I guess you could also let me know that in the comments, or yeah, I will ask a friend of mine if he thinks this is fair or legit. But yeah, so here I end up going to my PC and check my progress, I guess. That graveyard sure looks sad. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now, and I hope I hope to solve the over leveling problem without hurting myself uh, for the later parts of the game, because the level curve gets very high after one point. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and see you on the next part.